Hello, this is Dr. Antin from RD Physics. Unlike Dr. Phil, I still hold my license to engineer. And in this video, I'd like to justify why spending $4 grand on headphones is okay. This channel has been mostly about loudspeakers, but actually my main system for the past 2 decades has been a headphone system. And in this video, I'd like to make the argument for headphones instead of loudspeakers as your main system. And that's an argument you don't hear too often, which is why I think it's important to make it now here. And there are many reasons why not to use loudspeakers and use headphones instead. And all of those reasons have one common root cause, and that root cause is the room. Let's divide the consequences of the room into 2 categories. One is cost, and the second one is sound. Let's start with the cost aspect. So, since loudspeakers are played in a room, you need more power. Power means power amplifiers. You need to buy expensive amps to power your loudspeakers. Second, you need to place those loudspeakers somewhere, so you need to buy stands. Or if there are floor standing speakers, you need to buy feet. You need to connect them with cables. You need accessories. Then you need to acoustically treat your room, so you need to buy acoustic panels, diffusers, bass traps. And then you need to buy presents to your spouse because you're placing the speakers in the middle of the room. So all of these things cost money. So it's not just about comparing the cost of loudspeakers themselves and headphones themselves, you need to consider the whole system. So actually, $4 grand for a loudspeaker system is not a lot, you don't get very far. But for headphones, you get premium products for that price. Let's then talk about sound. So you can buy good loudspeakers and ruin them by placing them in a bad environment. Now, optimally, you would have the loudspeakers and the listening position at least 2 meters away from the nearest wall. But who actually has even the opportunity to do that? You need a big room. And then, when you're placing the speakers in the middle of the room and the listening position in the middle of the room, it's no longer a living room, it's a listening room. So what I'm saying is that actually most people don't have the opportunity to get their loudspeakers to sound good. Headphones, on the other hand, they have multiple benefits compared to loudspeakers. They are single point sources, there are no crossovers, no sweet spot, no room effects. You can listen in any position, sitting down, standing up, lying down, whatever you want. They work anywhere and always. Let me then address some of the downsides that people claim headphones have. The first one that comes to mind is the sound stage or the imaging. People say that it sounds like the sound is coming from inside one's head and it doesn't feel like you're at a concert. Well, to me that never really was a problem. I've tried crossfeed and I think it just makes things worse. I find it perfectly okay that the sound is coming from inside my head. It's kind of a logical consequence when using headphones. And I don't need to replicate a concert situation in my home. You know, live events are live events, go and participate. When I'm at home, I'm just enjoying the recording, I'm enjoying the music, I'm enjoying the good sound quality. It doesn't need to be some simulation of a live event. Another argument that's commonly expressed is that there's no physical sensation of bass, and that's true. And personally, that's one of the biggest drawbacks with headphones. I listen to a lot of rock and metal music, and there you really want that kick, and sometimes a 15-inch woofer is the only thing that can deliver that kick. So it's true that physical sensation of bass is lacking, but everything else is so good that it makes up for it. So still, after 20 years of listening to music, I still prefer headphones over loudspeakers. And then let's have a look at the hardware I'm using currently. So this is my setup. I bought this as a bundle. So it's the Sennheiser HD800S and the HDV820 DAC/amp. And you can get this for a little under $4,000. slightly over 3,000 euros. And it's a really good set. It's an improvement from my previous set where I had the HD 800, and this DAC is maybe a bit over-engineered or overkill, but there are a few aspects here that give me peace of mind. One is the 32-bit DAC, and the other is balanced output, and also the fact that it's made by Sennheiser and it's matched to those headphones. So I'm assuming they work well together. Previous equipment that I had are almost as good as these, so you can get quite far with even a 1,000 euro budget. For example, the Sennheiser HD 650, that's a really good headphone, apply some DSP and it's really good sound. And for DAC you can use something like 200, 300 euro unit and you will get good sound. So that'll get you excellent sound for less than $1,000. If you're even on a tighter budget, these are my office headphones, the Koss Porta Pros. Really good headphones for the price. And actually I have a story I like to share with these. The first pair I bought over 20 years ago, and after a decade of abuse, one of the channels went dead. And they have a lifetime warranty, so I contacted Koss and said, you know, I don't have a receipt anymore, these are over a decade old, it's probably normal wear and tear, but is there something you can do about it? They asked me for my address, and the following day I had new transducers in my mailbox. So that's the best customer experience I've had, the best warranty claim experience I've ever had. And to get headphones for life for 30 euros, that's a steal. Go buy them. These foams become brittle over time, but you can buy spare ones for a few euros in most electronics stores. Okay, thank you for watching, and I hope this video gave you some food for thought and compelled you to consider headphones